Okay, first up you have attaching your lens. Lens over there. And that simply clicks on like such. To release, press that button and detach. Here you have autofocus and manual focus and your stabilizer on and off. Mine stays to autofocus as this just makes life easy, especially for a beginner. Microphone is over here. It's okay. You're better off getting a lapel mic or some better version of recording, but it does the job. This little dial here doesn't change your image quality or anything that happens on your picture. It's simply used to sharpen the red dots for autofocus in your lens. So look through your lens, look at the dots, turn the dial until the dots are nice and sharp, and you're good to go. So here we have your photography selector dial. This is fully manual, so you can adjust every single setting that you want. This is aperture priority, which means you can adjust your aperture while everything else is automatic. Shutter priority means you can adjust your shutter speed while everything else is automatic. This one automates your shutter and aperture, and you can adjust other settings manually. This is automatic plus. Yeah, fully automatic. So this one you can just point and click, but obviously you've got little control over how your picture turns out. Oftentimes a flash will come up and in my opinion destroy your image. Anyway, this is non-flash photography. This means that your shutter will stay open a bit longer, so you're best using a tripod in this setting. Creative auto, we can go through these settings a bit later, but you can adjust a whole bunch of things, but it still automates a lot of things for you. So that's a good one to have, especially for when you're starting out. Face, the lens has facial recognition, so it can focus on a face quite nicely. You've got mountains, widescapes, sort of wide nature shots, close-ups. I find this is quite a good go-to for those shots where it's blurred in the background and nice and clear up front. That's usually adjusted with your aperture, but again, for beginners this is a great go-to for those kinds of shots. They always look quite nice. High speed, meaning your shutter speed is quite fast, so you get very little blur depending on how fast the subject is moving. Great for sporting photography and things that are moving at high speed. Nighttime, this adjusts the amount of light getting into your picture. This is a tricky one, but we can get some light stuff later. And then video. Video has a whole bunch of autofocus things, but you would imagine that pressing this button takes video for you, but it doesn't. You want to record video by pressing that button, and so you can see it's recording there, and I'm recording at 1280 50 frames a second and the time that goes by. And to stop recording, press up. Okay, so now you've taken a video and you find your video back there. Remember, this is a toggle switch here, so you actually want to press set, and this allows you to find your controls over there. So set again, display. Okay, slow motion, which is quite cool. Good stuff. Next frame, go through frame for frame like that. Just pressing set here the whole time. Pretty slow. Go to the end. You can edit here if you want. I mean, I would just do this on a PC, but hey ho. This is all via the set button here and using these two as arrow keys. Go back. Exit without saving. Okay. When you're in any mode other than video, this button here will toggle this screen between live view and settings view. So when you're in settings view, you'll take your pictures looking through this lens, and your little red dots will be there for you to autofocus. For me, it just seems to be a more natural way of doing things, but there are advantages to using this mode. You've got your grid lines, which are surprisingly helpful. You can turn those off by going to your menu there, grid display. You can have a lot of lines, or rule of thirds grid. That's quite a handy one. Menu to go back, and then by pressing Q here, you can go to all your other settings, etc, etc. If you are out of this mode, your settings will be controlled via these buttons. You can see there's ISO, Q, there's ISO down there, and all the rest of the settings you can go through. Okay, this is your play button, so you can toggle between live view on your screen and the pictures you've been taking. So these buttons here turn into arrows, so you can go backwards and forwards, seeing what you've been experimenting with, etc. Pardon the reflection there. Alternatively, if you want to have a quick look through all your photos, press the minus button there, and it can show you a thumbnail view of the pictures you've been taking. That's as far as it goes. If you press plus, if you press that plus button, you start zooming in on your pictures. So if you really want to get particular about the quality, you can zoom in like that, and that's back to normal. If you press menu, you get onto your menu, and oops, these are the various settings that you can go through. This is quite advanced and not something I'm that au fait with, but there's some things I use in here. Erase images is quite a handy one, because when you're starting off and experimenting, end up taking, I don't know, like 20 shots just to get one, adjusting settings here and there. So erase images, select and erase images. Obviously you don't want to erase all, but to select, you press that one, and you press the up button here. If it's a vertical, it says ISO up, and then you scroll left and right with these. Yeah, sort of like that one. Keep it, don't, that one's too dark, take it. That one's okay. That one's got something on the left hand side, check it. Then you press your delete button here and erase selected images. Gone. To get back, you see tells you the U-turn button there, says menu back, and we can keep going through our settings.